Let's see. Good morning, everybody. This is Harry Brelsford from SMB Nation, and it's another one of our Thursday webinars. So welcome aboard, and this is a special one with our friends from Carbonite again. It's also a pizza webinar, so enjoy the lunch. And here's what I'd recommend. I guess part of our intentions in having a lunch with you is that you will go ahead and invite some of your colleagues to join you around the webinar screen and enjoy the presentation. Today we're talking about the Carbonite Appliance. I have mine, and I'll have a couple of questions about that later in using the test model that I have. So we'll also take your questions later. There's ample time for questions at the end of the webinar. It is mid-August, so I totally appreciate your time. Thursday in mid-August is pretty valuable time because I know a lot of people have one foot out the door for their summer vacations before the kids go back to school. So a little bit of housekeeping up front. Use the chat feature to ask your questions. We will have ample time later to satisfy your questions, as well as be aware that we have the SMB Nation Fall Conference coming up September 26th through 28th back home in Microsoft Redmond. And we got traction. So the primary topic is Office 365. But a lot of people are more excited about the fact it's really a hybrid computing conference about how does the on-prem solutions, quite frankly, such as the Carbonite Appliance, play with a cloud world such as Office 365. So a lot of great feedback. With that said, I'm joined by my friend David. David, I'm assuming, sir, are you back in Boston today, and are you ready to rock and roll?
We are always ready to rock and roll in Boston, Harry. Thanks.
Let's do it.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for handing it over. Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. My name is David Maffei. I'm the Vice President of Global Channel Sales at Carbonite. I appreciate you taking the time with us today to walk through an overview and an understanding of the Carbonite Appliance product that we launched to the market this past June. We think you'll like what we show you today. We won't PowerPoint you to death. I'm going to move relatively quickly through a deck. I'm joined today on the call by Ray Cafarella. Ray is our Senior Product Marketing Manager, and she owns the appliance. So from that perspective, I thought it was important to have her join me on the call. She'll take over part of the deck and actually show you a short demo of the appliance itself. So we think you'll enjoy the next 40 minutes or so, and then look forward to answering whatever questions that we can about the box itself. From the perspective of Carbonite introducing this appliance and our approach into a new market for us that goes beyond just cloud-based backup, we wanted to have a theme and an understanding of driving a product set that was just right for our partners and then just right for our partners' clients. This is our first sort of on-premise hybrid-based backup solution that brings, as I will talk about throughout the course of the deck, the sort of the power and the scalability of on-site backup with the security blanket up in the cloud. And so we're leveraging sort of Carbonite best-of-breed cloud-based backup and disaster recovery solutions with sort of new and innovative on-prem solutions to put our partners and their small and medium business customers in the most favorable light specific to ensuring their client's business is able to keep in motion. When you think about that concept of keeping business moving and keeping your business customers in motion, again, it comes back to how quickly we can drive speed for that on-site data recovery, the security and the safety blanket of that cloud integration, and then the sort of application layer of the box that gives you sort of complete recovery from a bare metal restore. From our perspective with this application, we want to put ourselves in a position where your clients are able to get back up and running at the exact point and place from a data perspective where they were when the loss happened. And we think that the appliance gives us, our partners and your customers, the best and most robust opportunity to be able to deliver a very sort of high function and high value product to the market that is unmatched at the price point in which we've released it to our partners. Over the course of the next few slides, we'll talk about sort of 5 reasons why the appliance is right for you, 5 reasons why the appliance is right for your clients. how the appliance itself works. Again, Ray will take over and walk you through that, the setup and the management. I'll come back in and talk about next steps. We'll talk about becoming a partner, how you purchase the appliance, and then, as Harry alluded to, we'll have time for sort of live Q&A at the end. When you think about what's most important here, the most important thing, and I was just talking with Harry offline before we started this webinar, I was out at the CompTIA ChannelCon conference last week, and a lot of channel partners were asking me, what does Carbonite do to empower and enable our channel partners and prospective channel partners to be able to deliver solutions for their clients? And the big word that I continue to use in talking through an answer to that question is all about delivering a solution. Our channel partners that are having success in the market are doing so because they're able to couple together a complete sort of technology ecosystem-based solution for their customers, be it around disaster recovery or customer relationship management or cloud-based mail or any of the other applications that make up that ecosystem. We understand at Carbonite that we're one sort of cog in the wheel in ensuring that that technology ecosystem works and works really well. And from where we sit, we wanted to make sure that we delivered a product that puts you in a position where you're able to apply and bring value to your customers. The first thing is that understanding that this is an all-in-one solution. So what that means is that everything that you need from the appliance is on board the box itself, right? So you get the on-premise backup requirements and capabilities. You get the backup of the on-premise requirements and capabilities with our cloud-based security blanket. And you're given the best of both worlds, and then you're given an innovative and intuitive user interface that allows for our channel partners to sort of manage every aspect of the disaster recovery sort of scenario with their customers to ensure that they're ready in the event of an issue or a disaster. Beyond that, we understand that one of the things that Carbonite has always been known for and will continue to be known for is making sure that everything that we're doing is very simple. So it's simple to set up, it's simple to manage, it's simple to understand. When Facebook adds a new user, you're never in a situation where that user is wondering when they're going to get the formalized training on how to use Facebook. It's extremely intuitive, you understand what you're doing, and you dive right in. Carbonite products operate with that same mantra. We never want to need to train you on how to use our products. We need them to be innovative and intuitive and come with a sort of a user accessibility element to them that is sort of everything that you would expect from a product like this, and delivering you, in a step-by-step fashion, the ability to get to that simple setup and simple management. We understand that one of the important things, if not, it's basically, I'll say, the most important thing, but that's a backhanded compliment to the point that I'm going to make. Obviously, we need to be quick to protect your data. We need to be even faster to recover it. So at the end of the day, the number one most important thing is that we can get your data back. Obviously, in order to be able to do that, we need to get your data backed up. And from our perspective, it's all about speed and delivering on sort of the promise that we're putting you as our channel partners and your customers in a position where we're minimizing the amount of downtime. We understand that the hybrid approach to the way that we've lined up the appliance and the backup set puts us in a position where if you're a doctor's office or a dentist office, that if you have a hard drive failure or if you need data back, that the fact that you've lost that data doesn't stop the next patient from coming through the door. We understand that, and we know that the faster we can get you that data back, the faster you're up and running, your operations are running efficiently, and you're driving the revenue or top-line business goals that you're looking for. We also understand that it needs to be safe and secure, and that sort of goes without needing to be said. But that security and safety has been sort of at the paramount of Carbonite's sort of everything to the world from a backup perspective, dating back to 2006. If you look at the appliance itself, everything's encrypted with AES 256. Everything runs across SSL. And there are a number of other safety and security measures that are implemented on the box to ensure that both outside forces and user errors are completely minimized and controlled to ensure that we're backing your data up safely and securely and being able to deliver it back to you from a stored state safely and securely as well. And lastly, again, another sort of core mantra of Carbonite is delivering a product that has a very strong value. We want to have a high level of feature capability and a high level of value. That doesn't necessarily make us cheap, although a lot of people certainly do think that we're cheap. we're not striving to be cheap. We're striving to deliver the best value to the market. And we understand that from your perspective as a partner, we need to put you in a position where this product is priced at a level that allows you to scale up and down the different types of clients that you have. And so we'll talk about price in a future slide and give you a snapshot as to what that looks like. But from our perspective, if it's not priced right, we can't deliver the right solution for your customers. We don't need to deliver a box that's completely overkill on features and as a result ends up overkill on price. We need to deliver a box that's very usable by the vast majority of our customers. And as I'll discuss throughout the course of the webinar, this first appliance is just that. It's a first entry into the appliance market and the hybrid backup market for us, but it's certainly not the last. And again, we'll talk about that again in a minute. The next thing that I want to talk about is sort of a shift in the thought process about how this appliance sort of changes the game. We just talked about the advantages it brings to your customers. Well, what does this mean for you? Well, from a Carbonite perspective, we're at the point where we understand that you want to expand your business. You have different types of customers with different needs. A series of appliances gives Carbonite yet another sort of check mark in the sort of backup and disaster recovery box, if you will, around making sure that we've got solutions that can run the gamut across the different types of customers that you have. It's important for us that we recognize that you as a small and medium business yourself and as a channel partner to us are putting yourself in a position where you're serving different markets, different verticals, different types of organizations at different sizes. And we need to make sure that we put you in a position where all of the Carbonite products can solve the different needs for your customers as it relates to backup and disaster recovery. This is also our first channel exclusive product. So what that means is that the only way an end user can buy the Carbonite appliance is through a channel partner like yourself or one of the other 5,000 plus channel partners around the world that are selling Carbonite products. This is sort of another big step in Carbonite's continued transition from taking ourselves from our sort of grassroots, how the business got started and being sort of this direct marketing, direct fulfillment, direct consumer organization to really focusing on the small and medium business end user and delivering it through an indirect channel. And so our channel partners are critical to our success, and this is just the first of many products that are coming out exclusive to our channel partners. Very similar to what I touched on the last screen when you talk about the accessibility and the usability from a customer level, what it means for you is we need to make this extremely easy to configure and easy to manage. We give our channel partners the keys to the castle with the appliance, and we understand that when it comes to setting up backup sets and retention and driving the overall usability of that product for your end user, it needs to be extremely simple. Carbonite wants to be a very sort of low maintenance partner for our channel partners, both on the technology side and what I often say on the emotional side. We should be the easiest company that you do business with, and that's sort of our charter and what we go after from a day-to-day basis. The last thing on here, or second to last thing on here, is sales tools and guides. We understand that enablement is a massive part of sort of what makes you successful and how we're able to drive awareness about the products through our channel market. Those of you who are on the line who are already Carbonite partners know that you have full access to our partner portal and all of the different utilities that we have, from shared view content syndication to email templates to different user guides and sell sheets that are co-brandable. Our marketing team is sort of working around the clock to put our channel partners in a position where everything they need is in the portal and at their fingertips. So if they want to run a direct mail campaign, there are templates. If they want to run an email campaign, there are templates. If they want to run a call blitz, there are scripts. And we're doing that from the perspective of trying to drive the optimum channel user experience for you so that you can go out and sell as much of our product as possible as a part of sort of your bigger overall strategic business value. And the last thing I have on here as it relates to what's important for you is sort of our expert support. As many of you probably know, or those of you who don't, 100% of Carbonite support is based here in the United States. We have over several hundred support-based individuals. Our channel partners get direct access into the higher levels, our Tier 2 and our Tier 3 support reps. And we know that for you to be successful with your customers, we need to be extremely responsive to you 7 days a week. And that is what our support department sort of puts on themselves from an accountability and responsibility standpoint to ensure that we're making you as successful as we possibly can at all times. I'm going to hand sort of the controls over to Ray now that I gave you a little bit of an overview and a snippet into sort of how everything looks as it relates to what's important for you and for your customers. And so with that, Ray, can you take it away and tell them how it works?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to start off with giving a little bit more details of what we mean by hybrid. As Dave mentioned, the Carbonite appliance provides the benefit of both local and off-site data protection. Specifically, we have 1 terabyte of local storage on this box that we have now. So you get the benefit of local backup over the local network paired with automatic backup to the cloud. And the base subscription covers 500 gigabytes of cloud storage. And if needed, you can always add more storage as you go. So getting into how it actually works. You have your devices, and as Dave mentioned earlier, you can back up as many devices as you like within the physical storage limit. And backups happen throughout the day according to the schedule that you set, and I'll show you how that works later on in the actual demo. And once the local backup is complete, then that kicks off the cloud sync, so the data is then replicated up into the cloud. So the technology we're using is bare metal backup and restore, or otherwise known as image level backup. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this type of technology. Bare metal allows you to essentially take an image that captures the entire system. So the operating system, applications, folders, files, basically everything in the system and the state, and you get it back exactly as it was at the time of backup.
I'm sure that you can all hear the sirens in the background. That's actually a prop for the webinar today. There's a disaster that just happened, and people are on their way with Carbonite appliances to save the day right now. I'm joking, of course. I apologize for the interruption. I'll take this back from Ray for a second just to talk about something I touched on earlier, which was making sure that we're delivering a product that's just the right price. And just the right price means 2 things, right? It means it's just the right price for you as our partner to be able to deliver to the market what it is that drives value for you and the solutions you're building for your customer, and also giving you the opportunity and the margin and the bandwidth to be able to price it at a point that allows you to acquire as many customers as possible. The $99 per month that you see on here, which gives you 1 terabyte of compressed local onboard storage and 500 gigabytes in the cloud, is our list price. So as a channel partner, you get your channel discount off of this list price. As I mentioned earlier, we are not selling this product directly. So a sale from Carbonite for $99 a month will actually never happen. You as our channel partners will set the market on the price in terms of what you want to do with your customers as a part of the overall solution that you're delivering to them. Obviously, like with all Carbonite products, to get more cloud storage is an extremely nominal fee, $8.33 a month per 100 gigabytes that gets added on. We are showing this in a price format here that is monthly. One of the things that our channel partners over the last 2 months have pushed us on heavily is looking for this pricing to also be annualized. So you'll see from us over the next 4 to 6 weeks a release of this same sort of pricing model, but in an annualized format that still ties back to the concept of $99 a month for this box.
Great. Okay, so with that, we're going to jump right into the demo. I'll start by giving you a quick overview of what's actually in the box that we ship to you. So when you receive the appliance, you'll get the appliance itself, a power cord, and 2 USB drives. One of the USB drives has the backup agent software on it, and the other is marked recovery, which you'll use in the recovery process, and we'll talk about that more in just a few minutes. So while we switch over to the demo screen here, I'll start with kind of what the experience is. So what you'll do is you'll take to get set up, you will take that agent thumb drive, you'll plug it, first you will actually power up the appliance, plug it into your network. Then you will take the USB key that has the backup agent on it and plug that into the device you want to protect. And from there, it's actually really easy. So now you can see that we've switched over to the other screen for the demo. You can assume that this is a server that you're trying to back up in your client's office. So you've plugged in your agent software, and you're going to actually go and install the agent. It will automatically detect the appliance on your network and connect to it. And when that's complete, it will launch the web management dashboard. To access the dashboard, you will actually just log in with your partner credentials, and then eventually you will hit the dashboard that allows you to configure the backup for this device. So here you would log right in with your credentials. And here's your dashboard. So at the top of the page, you can see we've allowed you to edit or specify a nickname to the device, just to make it a little easier to identify, especially once you're adding numerous devices. You can also select which drives you want to protect if there are multiple drives in the machine. And then you can set the schedule for how often you want the backups to run. So in this case, it's going to take a new snapshot daily with a full snapshot every 30 days, or instances. Additionally, you can set what time of day you want the backup to run. You may want this to run off hours, for example, at 8 p.m. This way you can set up, if you choose, to only have the local backups running on your network at off-peak times, or you can choose them to have them run at any time of your choice. And lastly, you can set the start date. So if you don't want to back up and run this immediately, you can tell us when you want it to start. Some of our partners do like to make sure that the appliance is working properly before they leave their client site, so you could use the Update and Backup Now button. If you hit that button, as you can see, it just automatically kicked off the local backup. And then moving forward, it would adhere to the schedule that you set previously. So when you hit that Update and Backup Now button, you can see that the local backup starts immediately here in purple on the left. And then as soon as that completes, it's going to kick off the cloud backup. So once the cloud backup is complete, you may want to go in and take a look and say, okay, was that successful or not? So you'd click on View Backups, and here you get a full history of all of your successful backups, both local and cloud, when the backup occurred, and how big the backup is. You can always go back to configure and schedule anytime, and you can revisit those settings that we just set. So the nickname, the schedule, you can revisit those anytime you like. And then over here on the left, you can go to Manage Space. This allows you to manage the local and cloud storage by deleting old snapshots. So you can see the full snapshots and all of the related incrementals. And if you delete a full snapshot, all of the incrementals below are automatically deleted. Next up, we can look at upload time. Basically, this lets you set the time of day for cloud uploads. This is actually independent from local backups you will have set previously for the individual devices. So you can have all of your servers or devices in your network backing up throughout the day, but if you'd like to hold off on the cloud backup until the window that you specify here, you can certainly do that to save internet bandwidth. Or you can just check the box here and let it go whenever the local backup is complete. Okay, so there are two more things down here on the bottom of the dashboard, the recovery media and the added device. First, I want to pause and give you the background on the recovery media feature. When we gave the initial webinar on the appliance way back in December before we launched, we heard two big pieces of feedback from our partner community. The first was the need for universal boot media. And I'm happy to say that this is actually included in the model that we're shipping today. You can now create generic boot media. You can create it up front when you're installing the backup agent on the device, or you can create it later at the time of recovery. So this provides a lot of flexibility that's really in line with our signature simplicity. And I just wanted to mention that we do include that extra thumb drive in the box specifically for this purpose. It's actually blank when you get it, but we put that in there so that you could easily create your recovery media, and we do recommend that you create it up front just to ease the process of recovery if and when that's necessary. And the last thing here is that you can always add another device from the management dashboard down here on the right. So if you've logged in from another server, you just want to add the appliance, you can visit the dashboard and then just click Add Device. Great. So moving on, I'm just going to close out the dashboard and show you a couple of the controls that are available actually on each server that are being protected by the appliance. So if you go to the system tray and right-click on the Carbonite icon, you'll see several options that are available. I want to again pause and point out that when we originally gave the webinar on the appliance, we heard another thing loud and clear from our partners, and that was that individual file restore is extremely important. And that is also something that we were able to get into this first release of the model that we're currently shipping. So from any of the servers that are being protected by the appliance, you can go to this menu and you'd click here on Restore Files. You'll be able to browse the file tree and you can select individual folders and files and restore them directly to the server with the server still up and running. Additionally, this menu, you can also choose Build Recovery Media or Open Dashboard directly from this server. So now that we've covered all that, we'll show you what the recovery process actually looks like. Let's assume that this server had a hard drive failure and we need to start from scratch. So you'd get your boot media USB drive and plug it into the server, and then you'd want to boot up from that. That will launch the bare metal recovery wizard, and really it's a pretty simple process. You just step right through this series of menus. You pick the device that you want to recover, and then you pick the drives that you want to recover from that device. Again, pretty straightforward. It gives you a list of all of your available snapshots. You most likely want to choose the one that you did most recently, but you could certainly recover to a different point in time if you want. Then there's the final confirmation page, and you hit Next, and you'll see the recovery wizard booting up and connecting to the appliance, and then it's going to have a little status here as it copies the data over from the appliance to the server. And then at the very end, you will reboot and come right back into that login prompt as though the server had never been down in the first place. So just a quick note here, this was for the same server with a hard drive failure, but we do also support dissimilar hardware restore. There would be one more extra step in the recovery process, but we do fully support that. So that pretty much covers it. Thanks for listening, and I'll hand it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Ray. That was great. I appreciate it. I'm sure everyone on the phone did as well. So you're all probably wondering what's next for us. I mentioned a few moments ago about sort of a complete lineup of appliances as we enter this market. You know, this is certainly not our last innovation as it relates to the appliance. There are more to come as we make this sort of complete shift towards not labeling ourselves as a backup company anymore, but rather as a business continuity company, and empowering our partners to deliver successful and robust solutions to their customers. Over the course of the next 9 to 12 months, you're going to see a series of additional appliances from us with more onboard storage and more features, things like VM failover up in the cloud, as well as VMware support on the box itself. We're excited about these features. A lot of them are driven through the relationships that we have with our channel partners and the opportunities and challenges that they're seeing out in the market with the products that are currently available and that serve or don't serve the needs of their customers. Well, what's next for us, right? And when you think about it from the perspective of Carbonite and our channel partners, we want to make sure that we're able to deliver better support, bigger discounts, and stronger benefits, more enablement, more co-marketing, and more market development funds. Our new partner program that we launched in July at the Microsoft Worldwide Partner Conference is designed to do all of that and more. We needed to get to a point where we were delivering on the expectations of the channel partner community when you think about a mature and robust partner program that sort of incentivizes and supports channel partners as they deliver across the different sort of spectrums of their clients. That's what we've done and will continue to do as we continue to make this shift from sort of our traditional direct routes to the indirect selling channels that we've talked about today. To become a Carbonite channel partner, you can go to carbonite.com/resellers. You can email us at partners@carbonite.com, or you can give a call to the 877 number that's up on your screen, and that'll take you into one of my channel sales managers who's ready to take that call and have a conversation with you. The appliance is available for purchase now. It's been available live since June 18th, and while we've struggled to keep up with the demand in the market, we're in a very good spot right now in terms of driving inventory to meet that demand. So to purchase an appliance for those partners who are already Carbonite partners on the phone today, you simply log into the partner portal. If you're not a partner, again, please reach out to us, partners@carbonite.com. We'll get you set up and put you in a position where you can test the box with a not-for-resale license, similar to what we've done for Harry, or you can purchase it for your customers. And so, Harry, that's what we've got for you today. I want to thank Ray for her taking the time to walk us through that, and we'd love to answer whatever questions that have come from the audience.
Sure, sure. And I'm sorry, the lady's name, is it Sarah or is it Ray? So let me start with that. Ray. Okay. Okay, because I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind, from my own experience with your appliance. You know, it's a little bit of a funny story. You know, I wrote the books on the servers, but sometimes my very own network falls under the category of the, what is it, the cobbler's kid's shoes or the car mechanic's car, if that makes sense. And that's okay. That keeps it real at our little 10-person company. So when I fired up your appliance and put in the USB key in my Windows 8.1 touch machine, a Lenovo touch device, by the way, it worked fine. I mean, you definitely have Windows 8.1 compatibility, so appreciate that. And my network, for whatever reason, it's not a Carbonite thing, but it was a network thing. It couldn't detect the Carbonite device, and so it came up with a dialog box asking for the IP address for me to type it in, which is fine. I'm still running the Cisco OmPlus network management device that actually just went end of life about 2 weeks ago, and so I was able to, in my report, my screen, the network map, find the IP address, type it in, and it found it. So Ray, one of my questions is it looks like if you have I'll call it a wonky network, and I take ownership of that, it looks like you don't type in the net BIOS name. It looks like it's looking for an IP address, not the word like Carbonite for the actual machine name. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We did a lot of work to make it really simple so that it can auto-detect.
Yep.
So in the example that I had here, there was only one potential server for it to find. In another network, you might have a list of 10 things for it to pick. And again, we designed it so that it would auto-detect the one that you had put the agent into. But in situations like yours, where maybe the network is kind of set up in a way that we wouldn't have designed for or anticipated, you would need to know the actual IP address of your server and just physically type that in. And then, of course, you can nickname it. Once you've identified it, you can nickname it so that you don't have to always know the IP addresses.
Yeah, no problem. And again, just keeping it real, you know, just sharing my experience and a good experience. Then the next thing was the authentication. So, you know, here's the deal. I know Carbonite is a friend, and I put on my analyst hat. I know you in a couple of different ways, and so the authentication screen or the gateway screen that came up asked me to put in my Carbonite partner ID and password. And you know, again, my bad. I had not done that. So I've started that process so I can log on to the appliance and use it. But I wanted to highlight that for everybody on the web, and Ray, you'll do a better job of explaining it, but number one, it appears you must be a Carbonite partner. And then number two, that authentication step, I would offer prevents rogue use. I mean, I think it's a really good step. Any thoughts on that? Again, I'm just sharing what I went through.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great feedback, Harry. I think from our perspective, you hit the nail on the head, right? So if we're going to come out and say that a product is channel exclusive, we want to make sure that we put our partners at the forefront of making sure that the solution is implemented and operating correctly for their customers. So the way that sort of standard operating procedure is with the box is that all sort of administrative interfacing with the application, the appliance itself, is done by the channel partner. You know, we have some, as I'm sure you know, we have some very large channel partners such as CDW and Tiger Direct and Zones, and they are sort of your classic box mover and not a value-added reseller or a managed service provider. So there are solutions, you know, that will support them over time, allowing for sort of end-user manipulation of some of the tools that we talked about in certain situations. But like I said, standard operating procedure is that this thing is administered by the partner who implemented it.
Yeah, and I got that. It looked really smart. You are kind of enforcing the channel's role. the process. So those were my questions. And again, forgive me if I don't know. David, I just also wanted to prove to you that I appreciate the test unit, and I'm actually using it. and it's a lot of fun. To be honest, I took a Friday afternoon and started to play with it and get my geek on, and that's a good feeling when you come from a technical community. We do have some questions, so let's move right along, folks. We have what is the price of the appliance?
So the appliance itself is a list price to our channel partners of $99 a month. That $99 a month is the base price for the terabyte of onboard compressed storage and 500 gigabytes in the cloud. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we'll be offering sort of an annualized version of that as well. There is no price or cost for the box itself. There are no upfront fees. There are no per server fees. Nothing like that. We wanted to make sure that we differentiated ourselves from our closest competition on this line of products, and so as such, it's the monthly cost, and that's it.
Okay, cool. And David, you had a siren in the background earlier. And folks, if you're hearing a little background noise, I'm at the Seattle-Tacoma Airport. Been out on the road, so forgive me if you hear some airport background noise, but again, keeping it real. Next question is the BMR software built by Carbonite, or are you using a third-party imaging backup client such as Shadow Protect? Yeah,
great question. We're not using Shadow Protect, but we are leveraging sort of some best-of-breed bare metal backup and restore software providers and sort of Carbonite-izing them for the purposes of the appliance. We have not sort of built the bare metal software from scratch, if that's the question.
Okay, cool. Next question. Can I order an appliance with more local storage than 1 terabyte?
Yes, just not today.
Okay.
So one of the, I would say that probably the single largest piece of feedback that we've received from our channel partners as they're rolling this out is that the absolute must and need for larger onboard storage or the ability to add storage externally. We hear you loud and clear. We knew it when we pushed the first box out that it would fit. It was an entry-level box for an entry-level market as we sort of entered the appliance market. You're going to be very pleased with the size of boxes and the add-on capabilities that are coming with the lines of appliances down the road.
Cool. All right, next up, quote unquote, I may have missed it, but can you recover previous versions of files?
Yes, you can.
All right, next up, is the appliance, and I'm going to have to look a little closer here, HT10 HIPAA compliant. I don't know what HT10 is. I do understand the question about HIPAA.
HT10 is the fancy name of the appliance itself, Harry. Come on, pay attention. What are we doing here? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, well, my bad. I need more coffee. It's too early.
That's
okay,
right.
You got me at HT10. Okay, man.
Yeah, so the HT10 is the name of the appliance itself. Is the box HIPAA compliant, I think was the question. The box will be HIPAA compliant coming out of Labor Day weekend.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the safety. Can you throttle the offsite transfer speed?
Good question. So with the appliance itself, we cannot throttle the offsite transfer speed. It is set to be optimized and run as efficiently as possible. You can determine times of upload, which can be scheduled and can determine sort of what you're doing. I will point out that our Carbonite server backup product, which is our cloud-based hybrid server backup product, which is one of the other lines of products, you actually can throttle the offsite transfer speed and make those decisions on the fly in the user interface.
Cool. How can I get a demo? Pretty simple question.
Yeah, absolutely. You can email us at partners@carbonite.com, or if you're an existing partner, reach out to your channel sales manager, and we'll get one of our sales engineers on the phone, and we will light it up for you.
Okay, great. We have a comment from Michael Reber. So this is actually pretty good. So Michael, and I love his attitude. Michael Reber says, "I want one yesterday."
Michael, that sounds good. We wanted to sell you one yesterday. So
exactly.
just same thing. If you're not a current Carbonite partner, Michael, just reach out to us at partners@carbonite.com. If you are a current partner, reach out to your channel sales manager or log into the portal.
Well, he goes on to say, so we can start selling them, of course. I would convert my $1,500 a month recurring Shadow Protect business to Carbonite next month if I can get the demo equipment, smiley face. So probably no comment necessary there, David, but Michael, appreciate the shout out to Carbonite. Sounds pretty excited. Next legitimate question is, can you set the appliance to do file level only backups as well, excuse me, as well as full image level backups?
So right now, the way that the application software on the appliance is set up, we do full image-based backup, and then you can do single file restore. So there is not a concept right now of pushing a single file up in the backup process. We're going to take that full image. We're then going to take the incrementals. You get to set when full images are then taken again, and then you have the ability to grab down individual files or the full bare metal image.
Cool. Next question is the cost of the appliance included in the monthly fee?
Yes, it is.
Great. Next question. Do we provide the appliance hardware and you just install your backup software on it, or does the $100 include the hardware appliance? I think I know the answer, but I'll let you say it.
Yeah, the $100 a month includes the actual physical appliance itself. The imagery of the appliance in the webinar deck are actual pictures of the box. So it is, and good segue into where HT10 comes from. So HT10 is our naming mechanism, and the naming mechanism is derived by H stands for hybrid-based backup, T stands for tower, and then the 1 and the 10 is the single terabyte that's on board. What you will see from us is a series of HR models coming out, which are hybrid rack mount appliances from Carbonite.
Okay, cool. Next question. Boy, there's a lot of them. Hang on. Okay, what happens to the appliance when the service is canceled?
Great question. So if you terminate service with the appliance, you have a window. I think it's 10 days. Yeah, I just got 10 fingers. You have 10 days to return the box to us. Essentially, you'll reach out to our support department. You will receive a return authorization number. We will ship you a box to put it in, and it will come back to us. So we make it as simple as possible, but we obviously do need the hardware back, and we give our partners 10 days from the time of cancellation to return it to us.
Yeah, and that's actually a really valid point, gang. Maybe, if you don't mind, maybe a little bit of cultural context, but I know in our industry there's NFR software from Microsoft and so on. But guys, you do need to remember when there's a hardware element involved. I mean, there's a bona fide cost of goods sold component, right? The hardware costs a lot of money to make, and so don't be offended when Cisco asks for their phones back, and you know, if the agreement is reached its conclusion. David, I get that. There's I don't know. There's a real cost. I just wanted to, sometimes people in our community don't make that distinction, and it's kind of one thing to get an NFR copy of Office 365. It's another thing to get a, it's not like car manufacturers, you know, just give out demo cars. I'll put it that way, David.
I think that's a very good way to look at it, Harry.
Yeah, just, you know, guys, keep it professional is all I'm saying, and understand where everybody's coming from. Okay, where was I? Boy, I'll tell you, the screen is like this New York ticker tape. Got to slow it down. With a new Carbonite box, will a new Carbonite box be required when moving from supporting legacy servers to supporting virtualized servers?
So the answer to that question is no, as long as you're, if you have the appliance You can back up physical servers, and you can back up Hyper-V virtualized servers. In coming releases of the appliance, you'll also be able to back up VMware. So the answer to that question is no. There isn't one set of appliances for physical hardware and a second set of appliances for virtualized hardware.
Great. Next question. Will there be VMware support?
Yes, with capital YES, yes.
Perfect. Do you allow remote administration of the appliance?
Yes, we do. We allow remote administration of the appliance by the channel partner, certainly, absolutely.
Okay. Who is the target end customer for the appliance? Size, number of employees, etc. So what's your sweet spot?
Yeah, that's a good question. For this particular model, because we do recognize that it's sort of an entry-level model in the market, I think what we're seeing from our channel partners today is that we're seeing, the market for this appliance is set by the amount of data. So the type of organization who has, a terabyte of data as a single image on their servers, you could be talking about an organization anywhere from 1 to 5 servers. I think once you start to get above that 5 server number, in most cases you're going to have more data than the appliance itself can handle. One of the things that's important to note is that in coming releases of the software that sort of is the back end of the appliance, we'll have advanced archiving and retention policies. And so what that means is that for the partners on the phone who deal with financial organizations, you'll be able to store 7 years worth of appliance backup data up in the cloud while just having the most recent and relevant image on the box itself. So that's sort of a very cool and fancy feature, that's shipping out here very shortly with our HIPAA support.
What is the warranty on the box?
Great question. So when I made a comment earlier, we wanted to be low maintenance to our partners on the technical side and low maintenance to our partners on the emotional side. Warranties touch both technology and emotions. If the appliance fails, or if something happens to the appliance, you simply ship it back to us and we will ship you a new one.
Okay. Is it rack mountable? I know you answered that. I think you call it the HR1 coming out in the near future. Is that right?
I don't know what the number will be in the naming convention, Harry, just because more than likely a rack-mounted box will have more onboard storage. But this particular box is a tower. Rack-mounted solutions are coming shortly.
Okay. Excuse me. Will Carbonite sign business associate agreements? That sounds like a HIPAA concept.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Does the appliance backup exchange data?
The appliance will take a full image of anything that's happening on the drives on the servers that you pointed at. So if you have exchange-based data inside of that drive, we will back it up.
For Canadians, can the offsite storage be in Canada?
The answer to that question currently is no. The offsite storage cannot be available in Canada.
All right. Can we advertise the HT10 on our website?
Please, yes, and let me know how I can help.
Okay, great. Is there a 60-day, okay, let me slow down. Is there a 60-day out or a 3-year contract? How soon can okay, let's start with that. There's 2 questions. Is there a 60-day out or a 3-year contract?
So I'm not totally sure I understand the question. So I will tell you that with the monthly pricing, the way the model is available to our channel partners in the market today, there are 2 things. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so that if you buy the box and within 30 days decide it doesn't fit the needs of your customer, you send it back and we will refund you the $99 that you paid for the first month. If you go past the 30-day window and you get 60, 90, 120 days out, and at that point decide that the box doesn't meet your needs, you simply cancel your subscription and send it back, and the billing will cease at that point. You won't get a refund for the time that you used, but we will not continue to charge you. When we start to offer the purchase of the appliance in an annualized format, it'll follow the same pricing conventions that our other products do, which is you can buy a 1, 2, or 3-year annualized plan. You can receive a discount for a 2-year and a steeper discount for a 3-year. If you select an annualized option, you are locked in for the term of the selection that you've made, if that makes sense.
Okay, okay.
And you still, even with the annualized options, you still get the 30-day money-back guarantee.
The individual has a second question. He asked, how soon can my customer receive the appliance from the date of order?
Oh, I thought you said from the date of order. You said from the date of order. Got it.
Right, so if I order today, when would the customer get it?
Yeah, I think that our SLA on shipping time, Harry, is like 5 to 9 business days. So depending, the boxes, our logistics provider is up in the Northeast. So if you're on the Eastern Seaboard or up in the Northeast, you'll have it in a couple days. If you're in San Diego, you're probably looking at a week.
Well, but because you're GMT -5 and we're GMT -8, we do pick up 3 hours. So it'd be a week -3. 3 hours. Trust me, I just made that fly. I love it. I love flying against time. Okay, let me get back to work here. Is the support 24 hours, and do you speak to a live person or a recorded message?
No, you speak to a live person. We have a extremely robust support department. Again, that as I mentioned earlier, it's all based in the United States. It is 7-day support. It is not 24-hour support. So it's extended business hours, Sunday through Saturday.
All righty. Let's see. When we order, do we get a new unit? When we order, do we get a new unit, or will you also be shipping refurbished devices, those that have been returned? It's a good question. I don't know if you even have refurbished devices yet, so no, but I get the question.
Yeah, sure. No, so the answer to that is no, we're not shipping refurbished devices. As I'm sure you can imagine, with a tower format of the appliance that, it's sitting on the floor, it could get, kicked, it could get nicked, it could, somebody, put some gum on it. So, we're not using the same chassis to go back out to anyone else.
Cool. Is the cloud storage pooled or assigned to the appliance?
If that question is, can I pool cloud storage across the appliance and another Carbonite backup service like our Pro or Server service, the answer is no. They are independent entities.
Okay. What is the replacement time frame if the appliance breaks? Overnight?
It is overnight. It's 24 hours.
Okay. Cool. Another warranty question. So let's see, a little bit lengthy. Hold on a second. Okay, warranty. Do I wait for it to be fixed, or do you send a new one? If I get a new box, do I need to wait for you to receive the old unit before I can use the new box, is basically what the individual say.
Yeah, no. So as soon as there's a failure, we ship out a new box to you. The same sort of convention applies that we talked about earlier. So if you called up and said, I think the hard drive blew on my appliance, we put one in the mail to you overnight. You then have 10 days to return the defective one to us in the Carbonite funded packaging. If you chose to not do that and keep both, obviously we'd be charging you for both boxes. But no, you don't need to, we don't need to receive back the one unit to send you another one. As I pointed out earlier, we're not going to send you a used device. We're going to get you a device to get you back up and running in 24 hours.
Cool. Are there sales commitments associated with the partnership agreement?
Yeah, great question. So the entry level into our partner program would put you at a silver tier, and there are not sales revenue requirements. There are requirements around the number of people that you have trained in your organization on our products. We want to ensure that if we're representing you as a Carbonite partner, that you're as much of an expert on it as we are. There are revenue thresholds to then traverse sort of the partner tree. So to become a gold or platinum partner, there are minimum sales requirements.
Okay, well, David, that brings us to the end of our questions, and it's actually pretty good timing because it's we're approaching the top of the hour, and as you know by now, and everybody on the webinar knows, we definitely honor the time commitment that people have made. You've given us 60 minutes today out of a busy workday. Time is a real, a real asset, and more so I offer in the month of August where people are finding, they need a little time away, so that makes the work time even more precious. Folks, this has been the weekly webinar on the Carbonite Appliance. I'm happy to report that we are using it at SMB Nation for what that's worth, and happily so. So David is just great. I'm always looking for an excuse to stay technical. A surgeon who hasn't operated in 7 years, I don't know if I want that guy to be my surgeon. Does that make sense? So that's kind of my plan there. Folks, we have next week's webinar, same time, same place, and we have the fall conference coming up September 26th through 28th. Actually, very robust conversation surrounding Office 365, hybrid computing, and great reception so far for that. So, David, any final comments or maybe a shout out on where people can go to follow up with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate everyone's time again this afternoon, and for those of you that it's still morning, we're excited about the opportunity to bring this type of a product into our world and support our partners as we transition our business to heading to sort of channel-only fulfillment for our SMB customers. Check us out at Carbonite.com. You can email me directly at david.maffei@Carbonite.com. You can email us sort of generically at partners@Carbonite.com. Harry, I appreciate it as always. Look forward to seeing you shortly. And, I just thanks for the opportunity to show off our stuff.
No problem. Thank you. And folks, enjoy the pizza coming to you live from the mezzanine level of SeaTac Airport. I'm looking down on security checkpoint 3 as people clear TSA. I'll leave it at that. Have a great day. Thank you so much. And the recording will be available in 24 hours. You will be receiving a thank you email from us. And have a great summer vacation if you got a foot out the door. Bye-bye.